What if I told you that the innocent glass of orange juice you had with breakfast this morning, the motivational late-night work session you pulled last week, and even that diet soda you're sipping right now could be silently pushing your body toward type 2 diabetes? You're about to discover 10 seemingly harmless daily habits that millions of people practice without realizing they're dramatically increasing their diabetes risk, and some of these will absolutely shock you. Every 37 seconds, someone in America is diagnosed with diabetes. That's nearly 1 million new cases every year, according to the Centers for Disease Control and Prevention. But here's what's truly alarming. Most of these cases could have been prevented if people simply understood how their everyday choices were working against them. Today, we're going to uncover the hidden dangers lurking in your daily routine. Backed by cutting-edge research from institutions like Harvard Medical School, the National Institutes of Health, and the World Health Organization. Let's start with something that might be sitting right next to you as you watch this video. Habit number 1, drinking fruit juice regularly. Now, before you roll your eyes and think this is obvious, hear me out. I'm not just talking about the sugary processed juices. I'm talking about that fresh squeezed orange juice, that green juice from your local health food store, and yes, even that expensive cold-pressed celery juice that influencers swear by. A groundbreaking study published in the British Medical Journal followed over 100,000 women for 18 years and found that consuming just one serving of fruit juice daily increased the risk of type 2 diabetes by 21%. But wait, it gets worse. The same study found that people who swapped 3 servings of fruit juice per week for whole fruits reduced their diabetes risk by 7%. The reason? When you juice a fruit, you're essentially removing all the fiber that normally slows down sugar absorption, creating what researchers call a glycemic bomb that floods your bloodstream with glucose faster than your pancreas can handle. Dr. Frank Hu from Harvard School of Public Health explains it perfectly. When you drink fruit juice, you're getting all the sugar of multiple fruits without any of the beneficial fiber, essentially turning healthy fruit into liquid candy. Your body treats that morning glass of orange juice almost identically to how it would treat a can of soda. The rapid spike in blood glucose forces your pancreas to work overtime, and over time, this constant stress leads to insulin resistance, the hallmark of type 2 diabetes. The second habit might surprise you even more: eating too much too fast. We live in a world that glorifies busy schedules and quick meals, but research from Hiroshima University shows that people who eat quickly are 2.5 times more likely to develop type 2 diabetes than those who eat slowly. This isn't just about overeating, though that's certainly part of it. When you eat rapidly, you're disrupting the delicate communication system between your digestive tract and your brain. It takes approximately 20 minutes for your brain to register that you're full, a process mediated by hormones like GLP-1 and leptin. When you eat too quickly, you bypass these natural satiety signals, leading to overeating and dramatic blood sugar spikes. A study in the Journal of Clinical Endocrinology and Metabolism found that fast eaters had significantly higher post-meal glucose levels and required more insulin to process their food compared to slow eaters. Even when eating identical meals, here's a practical tip that can immediately impact your health. Put your fork down between bites. This simple action forces you to slow down and actually taste your food, allowing your body's natural hunger and fullness cues to function properly. The Mediterranean cultures, known for their low diabetes rates, have practiced this mindful eating approach for centuries. Habit number 3 is something that 70% of Americans do every single day without realizing its devastating impact on blood sugar control. Chronic sleep deprivation. The National Sleep Foundation defines chronic sleep deprivation as regularly getting less than 7 hours of sleep per night. And if this describes you, you're unknowingly increasing your diabetes risk by up to 47%. When you don't get adequate sleep, your body produces more cortisol, the stress hormone that directly interferes with insulin sensitivity. A landmark study published in the Annals of Internal Medicine found that after just 4 nights of sleep restriction, healthy young adults showed a 30% decrease in insulin sensitivity, essentially mimicking the early stages of type 2 diabetes. The researchers were shocked at how quickly and dramatically sleep loss affected glucose metabolism. But it gets worse. Sleep deprivation also increases production of ghrelin, the hunger hormone, while decreasing leptin, the fullness hormone. This hormonal imbalance doesn't just make you crave food. It specifically makes you crave high-carbohydrate, high-sugar foods. Ever wonder why you reach for donuts and coffee when you're tired instead of salmon and broccoli? This is your sleep-deprived brain desperately seeking quick energy, creating a vicious cycle of poor food choices and blood sugar instability. The World Health Organization now recognizes sleep as a fundamental pillar of health, equally important as nutrition and exercise. If you're serious about preventing diabetes, you need to prioritize sleep with the same intensity that you might prioritize diet and exercise. Our fourth habit is something that most people consider healthy: relying heavily on artificial sweeteners. Diet sodas, sugar-free gum, light yogurts, and those zero-calorie energy drinks might seem like smart choices, but emerging research suggests they might actually increase your diabetes risk in unexpected ways. A comprehensive study published in Nature, involving over 400,000 participants, found that people who consumed artificial sweeteners daily had a 13% higher risk of developing type 2 diabetes compared to those who avoided them entirely. The mechanism is fascinating and disturbing. Artificial sweeteners alter your gut microbiome, the trillions of bacteria in your digestive system that play a crucial role in glucose metabolism. Dr. Aaron Elenov from the Weizmann Institute of Science conducted groundbreaking research showing that artificial sweeteners promote the growth of bacteria that extract more energy from food and produce compounds that increase insulin resistance. Essentially, these supposedly helpful sugar substitutes are training your body to become less efficient at processing real sugar. The irony is profound. In trying to avoid sugar, people are actually making their bodies worse at handling sugar. Additionally, artificial sweeteners can trigger cravings for sweet foods by activating reward pathways in the brain without providing the satisfaction that comes from actual sugar. This leads to increased consumption of sweet foods overall, contributing to weight gain and insulin resistance. Habit number 5 is going to challenge everything you think you know about healthy beverages: drinking too much coffee with added ingredients. Now, I'm not talking about black coffee here. Studies consistently show that black coffee consumption is actually associated with reduced diabetes risk. I'm talking about those elaborate coffee drinks that have become a daily ritual for millions of people. Your daily caramel macchiato, vanilla latte, or even that seemingly innocent coffee with flavored creamer is delivering a massive dose of hidden sugars and inflammatory fats that spike your blood glucose levels multiple times throughout the day. A large flavored coffee drink from popular chains can contain up to 60 grams of sugar, equivalent to 15 teaspoons. To put this in perspective, the American Heart Association recommends that women consume no more than 25 grams of added sugar per day. But the real problem isn't just the obvious sugar. Many coffee creamers contain high fructose corn syrup and trans fats, which research published in the American Journal of Clinical Nutrition shows directly contribute to insulin resistance. Fructose is processed differently than other sugars, bypassing normal glucose regulation and being converted directly to fat by the liver, contributing to the fatty liver disease that often precedes diabetes. The solution isn't to give up coffee entirely. Coffee itself contains chlorogenic acids and other compounds that actually improve insulin sensitivity. The key is returning to simpler preparations. If you need to add something to your coffee, try a small amount of whole milk or heavy cream, which provides fat and protein that help stabilize blood sugar response. Our sixth habit might be the most insidious because it masquerades as productivity: eating lunch at your desk while working. This seemingly innocent multitasking behavior is wreaking havoc on your blood sugar control in ways that will surprise you. When you eat while distracted by work, emails, or screens, you're activating your sympathetic nervous system, the fight or flight response. Research from the University of Surrey shows that eating under stress significantly impairs glucose metabolism and increases insulin resistance. Your body literally treats distracted eating as a stressful event, flooding your system with stress hormones that interfere with proper digestion and blood sugar control. Moreover, when you're not paying attention to your meal, you miss crucial satiety signals. A study in the American Journal of Clinical Nutrition found that people who ate while watching television consumed 25% more calories and had significantly higher post-meal blood glucose levels compared to those who ate without distractions. The researchers concluded that mindful eating isn't just about portion control, it's about optimizing your body's metabolic response to food. The Japanese practice of ichigo ichi, doing one thing at a time with full attention, extends to their eating habits. Japan has one of the lowest diabetes rates among developed nations, and their cultural emphasis on mindful, focused eating likely contributes to this statistic. Habit number 7 is something that 90% of people do wrong. The timing of their largest meal. Most Americans consume their biggest meal of the day at dinner, often late in the evening. This pattern directly contradicts our natural circadian rhythms and significantly increases diabetes risk. Research published in the journal Diabetologia followed over 26,000 men for 16 years and found that those who ate their largest meal late in the day had a 25% higher risk of developing type 2 diabetes. The reason lies in our body's natural insulin sensitivity patterns. Your cells are most responsive to insulin in the morning and become progressively less sensitive throughout the day. By evening, your body's ability to process glucose efficiently is at its lowest point. Dr. Sachidananda Panda from the Salk Institute, a leading researcher in circadian biology, explains that eating large meals when your body expects to be fasting disrupts critical metabolic processes. Late-night eating interferes with the natural overnight fast that allows your liver to process stored glucose and your pancreas to rest and recover. Traditional cultures around the world have intuitively understood this principle. The Mediterranean approach of having a substantial breakfast, moderate lunch, and light dinner aligns perfectly with our biological clock. The German saying, "Eat breakfast like a king, lunch like a prince, and dinner like a pauper," isn't just folk wisdom, it's metabolic science. Our 8th habit is something that health-conscious people often do with the best intentions, over-exercising or exercising at the wrong intensity. While regular physical activity is crucial for diabetes prevention, there's a sweet spot that many people miss entirely. High-intensity exercise, especially when done excessively or without adequate recovery, can actually increase cortisol levels and promote insulin resistance. A study in the Journal of Applied Physiology found that athletes who engaged in high-intensity training more than 5 days per week without adequate rest showed decreased insulin sensitivity compared to those who followed a more balanced approach. The key insight comes from research at the University of Bath, which found that moderate intensity exercise performed consistently is far more effective for improving glucose metabolism than sporadic high-intensity workouts. Walking for 30 minutes after meals, for instance, can reduce post-meal blood sugar spikes by up to 30%, according to studies published in Diabetes Care. The mistake many people make is thinking that more is always better when it comes to exercise. Your body needs time to adapt and recover. Chronic overexercising creates a state of physiological stress that can actually impair the very metabolic improvements you're trying to achieve. Habit number 9 might be hiding in your kitchen cabinet right now. Using refined vegetable oils for cooking. Oils like corn oil, soybean oil, and canola oil have been marketed as healthy alternatives to saturated fats, but research reveals a more complicated picture regarding diabetes risk. These highly processed oils are rich in omega-6 fatty acids, which can promote inflammation when consumed in excess. A study published in the Journal of Nutritional Biochemistry found that a high omega-6 to omega-3 ratio significantly increases inflammatory markers associated with insulin resistance. The modern Western diet provides omega-6 to omega-3 ratios of up to 20:1, when the optimal ratio should be closer to 4:1. Additionally, many vegetable oils undergo extensive processing involving high heat, chemical solvents, and bleaching agents that create inflammatory compounds called lipid peroxides. Research from the National Institutes of Health shows that these oxidized fats directly damage insulin receptors and contribute to the development of insulin resistance. The solution isn't to eliminate all fats, which play crucial roles in hormone production and nutrient absorption. Instead, focus on less processed options like extra virgin olive oil, avocado oil, or coconut oil for cooking. And ensure adequate omega-3 intake through fatty fish, walnuts, or high-quality supplements. Our final habit, number 10, is perhaps the most overlooked: chronic dehydration. Most people walk around in a state of mild dehydration without realizing how profoundly this affects their blood sugar control. When you're dehydrated, your blood becomes more concentrated, including glucose levels. This triggers the release of vasopressin, a hormone that stimulates the liver to produce more glucose, creating an artificial spike in blood sugar levels. Research published in Diabetes Care found that people who drank less than 2 glasses of water per day had a 30% higher risk of developing high blood sugar levels compared to those who drank more than 6 glasses daily. Dehydration also affects kidney function, and your kidneys play a crucial role in glucose regulation. When your kidneys aren't functioning optimally due to inadequate hydration, they can't effectively filter excess glucose from your bloodstream. The National Kidney Foundation emphasizes that proper hydration is essential for maintaining healthy glucose metabolism. Moreover, people often mistake thirst for hunger, leading to unnecessary snacking and calorie consumption. A study from Virginia Tech found that people who drank 2 glasses of water before meals consumed 75 to 90 fewer calories per meal, which over time significantly impacts weight management and diabetes risk. The simple act of staying properly hydrated supports every aspect of healthy glucose metabolism, from improving insulin sensitivity to supporting kidney function to preventing overeating. Now that you understand these 10 hidden habits that increase diabetes risk, you might be feeling overwhelmed by the changes you need to make. But here's the encouraging news: you don't need to transform your entire life overnight. Research shows that even small, incremental changes can have profound effects on your metabolic health. The Diabetes Prevention Program, a landmark study supported by the National Institutes of Health, demonstrated that lifestyle changes focusing on diet and physical activity reduced diabetes risk by 58%. Participants didn't make dramatic changes. They focused on consistent, sustainable modifications to their daily habits. Start by choosing 1 or 2 habits from this list that resonate most with you. Maybe it's slowing down your eating pace or prioritizing 7 hours of sleep each night. Focus on these changes for 2 to 3 weeks until they feel natural. Then gradually address other habits. This approach, supported by behavioral psychology research, is far more effective than attempting massive lifestyle overhauls that often lead to burnout and abandonment. Remember, preventing diabetes isn't about perfection, it's about progress. Every positive choice you make is an investment in your long-term health and vitality. Your body has a remarkable capacity to heal and adapt when you provide it with the right conditions. The World Health Organization projects that diabetes will be the 7th leading cause of death by 2030, but this statistic doesn't have to include you. Armed with this knowledge about hidden risk factors, you now have the power to make informed decisions that protect your health for decades to come. Your journey toward better metabolic health starts with your very next choice. Will you choose the whole fruit over the fruit juice? Will you put down your phone during your next meal? Will you prioritize that extra hour of sleep tonight? These seemingly small decisions compound over time, creating either a trajectory toward disease or a path toward vibrant health. The choice, quite literally, is in your hands, and now you have the knowledge to make it wisely.